I've seen better legs on our kitchen table.
Helps our press right buttons. Happy Sunday. We're off to a great start. Anyway, it is a wee natter. I'm Mark. Across the table from me is
Jenny.
And we are here with a very simple mission. And it's to make you forget Monday morning is a thing for just a few more hours. Do you think we succeeded at that one?
Definitely. And if you keep pressing the right buttons, we will, yeah.
So you're saying we've already failed at that point?
Yeah.
We just give up, go home, pretend it didn't happen. And talking about that sort of mindset, we do have to light a candle for the Scotland team. I'll be honest with you, odds were always against it. They've entirely crashed out of the World Cup now. It was always going to happen. They were never going to get particularly far. We kind of accept that as the Scots, and we begrudgingly go into it going, we're going to have a bit of fun, but we also know we're not going to go very far. We know we're not going to be, in the absolute ultra final or something like that. It's not going to happen. I've crashed
out as well. My team I chose out the hat at sweepstake at work.
Who
That's
was
gone
it?
as well.
Checkers.
Checkers. I don't know who my team were. Cratchers.
Oh, you're after Czechia.
Czechia,
what used to be the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
It's not Chequers, which is where the Prime Minister goes at the weekend. It's not like the Pope and the Prime Minister has his own country.
We don't like doing the sports and roundup, isn't it?
Could you imagine if we did that? Almost like a Vatican or Sealand style approach where there's like just this little enclave that is, that's where the Prime Minister lives in its own little country and he doesn't pay taxes and things like that.
Well, you see, I didn't know, and Stephen All's just updated me to say, I see your team's out. I was like, oh, are they? I don't know.
So we are shedding a tear for many teams in the World Cup. The downside of all this is I'm going to have to pick another team to back now. It's going to have to be England, isn't it? Until they get to a penalty shootout and then it's all going downhill from there.
Well, this is the thing. We either go out right at the very beginning or we go right to the end and then we lose on penalties at the semi-finals. We will. That's going to happen. I shouldn't say it, but it's what we always do. It's what we're good at.
And we're loving your messages coming as well, including one from PG31 Cat who has tipped us. Thank you very much for that. You are not obliged to give money to the show, but when you do, it does go to making sure we can keep the show going and ensuring our cat is well fed in treats.
And keeps me in cornettos.
Is this your admitting to embezzlement now? I mean, it's right a way to do it, isn't it? But PJ Fairone Cat also says, happy Sunday. Don't forget the strawberry moon tonight. Now, I've had a look out the window, and all I can see out the window is a crow that's making a lot of noise. And I can't, a couple of clouds and a blue sky. I can't see a moon yet. And I'd love to see what they mean by a strawberry moon. Does it mean it goes all red with like little green yellow spots on it?
I don't know if you get the green and yellow spots, but it might have a red hue to it or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to have to Google it.
Or maybe it tastes of strawberries, because we all know the moon is made of cheese. So that having a strawberry taste to it is possible as well. Also, Dutch Argonaf 22 on the football saying, Scotland tried their best, and yes, the best wasn't good enough. That is just as simple as that. It was not good enough. And Cheryl, staying on the World Cup, saying, I'm sticking with Spain or Argentina. I'm not going to use the word glory hunter, but it's there if you want it.
I will stick with it's too late now, isn't it, for me checkers?
I'm
not worried.
Again, Czech Republic, not Chequers.
That's the one.
Two very different places. Don't want to get them mixed up. And it's not the game of checkers either. That's something entirely different. And talking about different, we were asking you last week a bit of a, I don't know if melancholic's the way to use for this question, but it's a bit of a strange one. What do you wish you'd seen or done while you still could? And a few of you have been in touch.
Well, do you know what? The first person's I'm going to read is Lady called Anne. Yeah. And for some reason, the first word I looked at, my brain saw the word vandalised.
Vandalised?
Not visited. I just saw the word vandalised. But Anne's saying she wished she'd visited more places before her physical health deteriorated. I saw that as I wished I'd vandalised more places. I don't know why.
Maybe
I don't know why.
Maybe you're reflecting on your own opinion there and your view on the world that more things should be vandalised. Paul also Dutch saying, I would have loved to have run the London Marathon for a charity before ill health took over.
Sally Ann Markham Johnson would still like to go to Hawaii, go under Sydney Harbour Bridge and to see the Terracotta Army in China and go to the Galapagos Islands. Just a short, small list.
Yeah, just a couple of things you can knock out in an afternoon there, but you've got to have a bit of ambition in life, haven't you? Danielle is saying, I hope you're staying cool, hydrated at the moment with the heat waves we're going through. Thank you for providing a link to the Wee Natter half-hour session. The live stream kept freezing and had issues, which may have been due to network problems with Mixcloud or whatever. But anyway, my response to the question is to transform bucket list aspirations into tangible achievements by breaking them down into manageable steps. I wish you a productive day. And just to check, Daniela.
Yeah.
You didn't think this was an interview question, did you? It was a very formal response there. I love what you're saying, though. It's the sort of thing where I think we're more interested in what those bucket list things would be. Because that's what we're talking about. It's basically bucket list stuff, isn't it?
Yes.
Without admitting we've got a bucket list. There's just something about travel, or maybe just Peterborough, that brings out odd behaviours in people.
Peterborough
As in the town, and I don't know if you call it the East Midlands. It's out towards the east somewhere. Anyway.
Yes.
But something a bit strange about it. Although admittedly there's something strange about travel, because in an airport it feels normal to be drinking a pint at 4 o'clock in the morning. But only when you're at the airport. I don't know if it still applies to railways or not. But anyway, I'm on the train down towards London, and this mad lad hops on the train, grabs the seat behind me, and goes full Cookie Monster, pretty much with the sound effects, on a bag of crisps at 6:30 in the morning. Bits going everywhere, the complete Cookie Monster soundscape. Although on the plus side, I had to put up with that, but on the plus side, at least I wasn't on a mobile cesspit. That wasn't a totally reeking train.
Yes.
And it's, the sort of train I'm on about.
I do, yes.
So it got me wondering, what is the most memorable thing you've seen on public transport? And it doesn't have to have happened this week, like Cookie Monster Man with the crisps at 6:30 in the morning was genuine. Unlike, when comedians say the other day, this genuinely happened the other day. I'm not making it up. It genuinely happened this week. But we are asking you, what is the most memorable thing you've seen on public transport? Just that. Yeah,
I'm trying to think if I've seen anything. Sometimes you just see things and then you just totally forget about them. At public.
You try to blank them out and pretend they didn't happen. That's maybe how you deal with it. But if you've got a story, we would love to hear it. We're on the topic of public transport and those memorable moments that you've had. It turns out Jenny's had a few.
Well, I have in my time. So years ago, I used to live on the south coast, and we'd gone to Brighton for the evening just for a bit of a night out.
As you do.
And as we're coming back, the bus drives along the coastline, and there was a guy sat on the front seat, but on the edge of the front seat, and he was clearly worse for wear. But every time the bus stopped or it went slightly round a bend, around a corner, he just slid off his seat and fell off. And then he'd get back up, position himself back on again. The bus would carry on going. And the driver never said a word. And me and the friend I was with, we just creased up. We were only about 18.
Yeah,
we just creased up laughing. It just kept falling off, all the way back down to where we were getting off. He must have fell off about 10 times.
Now, you see, I had a journey that was a bit like that, but you didn't have to be drunk to fall over. It was a bus driver who was clearly on his last day ever working as a bus driver, just given up, got hacked off enough doing the final run of the day, absolutely slinging the bus round corners as quickly as he could get it round. People falling from side to side. You couldn't stand as it went round roundabouts, all that sort of stuff.
Gosh.
And it was even to the point where one woman got off and then started shouting at the driver saying, I'm going to report you, blah, blah, blah. And he just went, no swearing on the bus, closed the doors and drove off.
It's funny, but it's not.
Yeah. So I wonder how you'd have handled that situation.
I'd have pulled the doors back open again.
Giving him what for.
Giving him a what for, yeah.
So falling over on the buses,
falling over on the bus.
Yeah.
Again, coming back from a night out in town, some young girls was upstairs and pressed the bell, and I don't know why they did go up to the top deck, because they clearly had too much to drink. I mean, one just completely fell down the stairs from top to bottom. She was all right, but there was some young lads on the bus, and one guy goes, "Oh no, God, I've seen better legs on our kitchen table." I thought that was funny. I know it's a little bit of an insult, but you know when somebody just comes out with it, he said it in a bit of a jokey way. I just thought, oh my God, that's quite quick.
Not only are you physically hurting at that point, your pride's hurting a bit as well.
So she couldn't wait to get off.
Oh, I can imagine.
I've seen people dressed up on buses as well. You know when there's something going off in town.
Yeah.
Is something going down?
No, don't worry about it. I pressed the button, unmuted the thing, don't worry.
So something's going on in town, and let's say the Rocky Horror Show's on or whatever. I've seen people dressed up as Superman on the tram.
Comic Con, things like that.
Trams, don't we, in Nottingham? So I've seen people dressed up on trams, and sometimes it can be quite funny.
The trick is trying to work out what the characters are, especially if you've not been keeping up with where these movies are going and things like that. So you assume that everyone's some variant of Superman or something like that, and you just watch them get wildly offended that you've never even heard of the show that they're a huge fan.
It's not Superman at all. It's something like Skeletor or something. Because He-Man's coming back, isn't it? But I was just wondering who's playing Skeletor.
And without CGI, that'd be impressive. Yeah. Also in touch, Daniela saying, "I once saw a woman casually eating a large cooked fish out of the foil on the bus, and everyone looking in disgust." Now, you see, when people have stinky lunches, fish at work or any of these sort of things where it's just that pong that just hits you.
Should you be cooking fish in a microwave if it's a communal kitchen?
The answer's obviously no, but I suspect the people that do it know what they're doing and are there to wind you up. They are going through life knowing that they're going to get pleasure from knowing that you're upset that they're eating their lunch and they're making a bit of a stink about it. That's what I think happens there. And I think in that case, we've got to fight fire with fire. And you need to do a bit of crop dusting past them as they're eating their lunch. Somebody pointed out to me a little while ago that Heartbeat is set in the 60s, but somehow they managed 12 Christmases.
Yeah. Maybe a couple of specials. You're not supposed to really count them.
No. Nobody's sitting there working all that out. And in fact, somebody actually pointed out to me, it's like, okay, it doesn't ruin the show, but it does give you that little funny little moment about it, doesn't it? We are going all in on Sunday night, and especially Sunday night television, which when I was growing up, it was all about Antiques Roadshow.
Not Last of Summer Wine as well?
Not Last. I didn't really watch that when I was a kid, no.
You do now though, don't you?
I don't get much choice in that. I come downstairs and you just get... Oh, wait, we're watching that, are we? Okay, we're good. But I'm not complaining about it. It's just you come in and it's okay, that's what's going to be happening.
It's got to be Foggy, Compo and Clay. They're the three for me.
It's a very specific combination of characters.
Yes.
I was going to say actors there, but I'm like, hang on, they're not the actors. But no, it was Antiques Roadshow when I was growing up. So it was a lot of, it turns out this rug's worth £11 billion. Or this thing that they'd kept as a family heirloom was worth about 20p or something like that. Maybe one of these days I need to take like my old T-shirts and undercrackers onto Antiques Roadshow and see if they're worth a few quid. It turns out there's some specialty Primark, collectors group, and suddenly they're worth tons of money. I don't know, it might be possible. But the Under Sunday Night programme that has been top of mind has, of course, been Heartbeat.
Heartbeat. I mean, Cheryl's just messaged me while that song was on, and she says, I think it was in the Nick Berry days when that song used to pop up, which I thought it was. She's just been topping up the bird feeders, whistling that song, thinking about her favourite character, which was Sergeant Mert. I mean, I used to think Nick Berry was a bit of eye candy myself, but she used to like Sergeant Merton, what's Sergeant Merton's real name? Duncan Bell.
Duncan Bell.
He was in Hornblower, apparently, with longer hair, so she recognised his voice, but couldn't quite place the face.
Now, you see, I do recognise him from a few other things, and I did look up, and apparently after that, he kind of went off of television and just did more family life stuff and things like that. So he sort of disappeared
did as well.
Into obscurity a bit. But it's nice obscurity because, like, okay, you're doing the family thing. It's not, oh, it turns out you just went completely wacky and nobody's working with you anymore. Because when somebody goes into obscurity, there's those two paths, and they went down the good path. But
yeah, I think Nick Berry did something called the Harbour Master, and then after that, I think he just kind of disappeared. Yes.
I was about to say sent up to the farm, but that's not quite it. It's not like when you stop being an actor.
Of course, it was in EastEnders to begin with, wasn't it? Wixie.
Yeah, well, that was his big break, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Yeah, that's how he became a household name. Also in touch, we've got Paul saying Bill Maynard was in it as well.
He was. Greengrass. Claude Jeremiah Greengrass.
He also pointed out, not that I ever watched it.
You see, I used to work with somebody that said they never, ever watched Emmerdale, and you could hold a proper, full-on conversation about what's been happening on that soap, but swore blind. The wife watched it. They was in the background doing other things, but they knew everything from start to finish. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. Whereas
I genuinely, nothing has been absorbed in.
Nothing at all.
Well, I've taken you to the place because you wanted to go.
Oh, I've been a few times actually. It's great.
So you've been to the village and you've been to the indoor television sites, haven't you?
Yeah.
And I remember that.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Gothland. Sorry, we're talking about Emmerdale.
I'm talking about Emmerdale.
Oh yeah, I've been to both. That was great. Yeah.
Yeah, so you've been to see all the Emmerdale stuff and things like that. I genuinely can't remember anything about Emmerdale other than it was called Emmerdale Farm at one point.
Emmerdale Farm with the plane crash.
And there was a plane crash. And I only know about that because they had staged the plane crashes that had been on the show as part of the tour.
See, I don't watch the up-to-date ones now. I'm just watching all the classics on ITVX. For some reason, and the Corries as well. I'm watching the classic Coronation Streets, but I just don't. I can't deal with the new ones. I don't know why.
Watching old versions of soaps has been a thing for eons now. Because I remember hearing people, 20 odd years ago saying, "Oh, I'm watching old versions of soaps," and that would have been from the 80s and 90s then.
Things get too dark, though. The recent ones, they get too dark and the plot lines last for too long and it can get quite oppressive and stuff. Whereas before, you get a few darkish storylines, but you get lots of laughter and lightheartedness kind of at the same time. The recent ones, it's like watching EastEnders on steroids, isn't it? Just totally depressing.
I was about to say, you're basically saying you're an EastEnders woman at heart as well.
No, not like that either. But I am watching Brookside that's available on STV. I do love a bit of Brookie as well.
Oh, don't we know it? When I come into the living room, there's just this 80s synth noise. You're watching.
Calm down.
You're watching Brookside, are you? Talking about darkness, we stay in the world of darkness, but do you remember the Novichok attack, a good number of years ago in Salisbury? Yeah. Well, it turns out if you go into Rightmove, for sale right now, it's a partial ownership deal, so you don't turn it into a morbid museum, is the Novichok house.
Oh, wow.
Where the attempted poisoning happened.
So obviously they've done a big, massive clean-up.
They've done a massive clean-up. You can buy it for the princely sum of £114,000.
Wow.
You only own part of it. For that money. you share it with the council, apparently. They have done quite a clean-up, apparently. They have tidied it up a bit. So you aren't going to get poisoned just walking in your front door. But if that opportunity was available to you, it's a house that was just down the road for good money, cheap money, would you consider buying such a thing?
I wouldn't, and I've got a similar story.
Oh, go on.
Because there's a house in Nottingham that is currently, it's a flat that is currently for sale.
Yeah.
And it's in a lovely area. The flat is absolutely it's immaculate. It's been revamped and everything. And you look at it and you think, why is that flat so cheap in the area that it's in? And if you look at the frontage of it, if you recognise the frontage, if you've been following a certain news story, only from a couple of years back, you realise it's a place where somebody was basically murdered in that flat.
You see,
if you know that, would you?
Murders I'm less worried about because let's be honest, when you've got a property that's more than a decade or two old, odds are somebody's passed away in it. That's
just
the
other thing.
That happens.
But this was a bit of a horrific murder. Do you know what I mean? So, and you knew the room that this person was murdered in, and you knew how this person was murdered. So would you, knowing that, even though it's everything you could possibly want out of a property, would you be able to live in that place thinking, this is the place, I'm in the place, I'm in the room where she lost her life? Do you know what I mean? Could you do that?
I think I could if I didn't personally know the person. I think that would be the limit. And on a slightly more cheerful note, we are seeing a few messages flying back and forth, moving on from murder to...
Got to say it as a Scotsman, Mark. There's been a murder.
There's been a murder. Moving on from murder to more cheerful stuff. Back to the soaps, and there'll be a few comments flying around. Yeah. Including WAP saying my favourite was Coronation Street.
Oh, yes, yeah, I love it.
Yeah, Paul pointing out that Archie got vaporised when the plane crashed in Emmerdale.
You see, that was quite recent. No, it wasn't recent. It's because I was watching some of the specials, and I remember, and you actually looked up, and I said, apparently Archie was vaporised. And I was like, how does that actually work? And you was trying to explain how he could have possibly been vaporised, because all the plane fluid went into Nick's eyes, didn't it? And he couldn't see, and he was searching for Archie. I'm living it back again now in my mind. Picture it.
I will take your word for it. And also, if we're talking about soaps, let's see if you remember this one.
Yeah.
WAP says, did anyone like Crossroads?
I do you know what? I don't know if I did or not, because I was at school. My mum and dad used to watch Crossroads. I think it was on at tea time when Meg wasn't it Meg who was the motel manager?
I've seen a few other comments coming in.
Oh, Nora Batty was in it as Doris Luke.
Yeah. The scenery used to move and it was flimsy.
It did.
It was a bit niche.
Benny, wasn't it? Benny used to have the Benny hat.
Benny was in Crossroads, yes. Miss Diane. Amy Turtle.
Yes.
And Jane Rossington used to shop in the Waitrose Lichfield where the wife used to work. She lives in Sutton Coldfield now. Yeah, so there you go. Well, the Crossroads, that was the one in the Midlands, was it?
Yes, I think it was West Midlands based, I think.
Oh, it's all a bit before.
It's available now on, it's either now or ITVX. It is there, but I kind of did start to play it and I thought, oh no, I can't get into it.
This is going to get a little bit meta, this conversation, with this next up. But I do wonder if something like Crossroads is a relic of its time. A bit like when you look at things like Bullseye, right?
Oh, God, yeah. Take it back.
Somehow it became wildly entertaining, but it was literally just, we've got airtime to fill because, we're a local TV station. We only get so much from the network. Darts, can we turn that into a game show? Oh. Let's give that a shot. And, you just end up with all these random, wonderful things. Most of them failed spectacularly. I think Crossroads...
Bullseye weren't too bad, though, was
it? No, Bullseye was a success, but most of these things just didn't work out. Three people and a goat saw it, and then they gave up and whatever. And unfortunately, the way television, media, radio, all that's changed nowadays, you don't get all these weird experiments where it's like, we've got airtime to fill, let's do something a bit crazy. That's all just disappeared now. So you end up with very boring, bland, safe options. And yeah, I think we've lost out because of that. I think that change has been a bad thing. And rightly or wrongly, that's where like the social media and YouTube and things like that are stepping in. But the way the algorithm and those platforms have evolved, they're becoming more like the TV channels are, where the really safe stuff gets a huge audience, and that, that's what people see, and the experimental stuff dies off fairly quickly. Yeah.
I find myself not watching live TV anymore. I do always tend to find myself watching all the old comedies as well. I don't know if anybody listening does that. Things like George and Mildred and Man About the House and Butterflies. I used to love Butterflies. I was going to say most of them were ITV, but there was a few. Well, yeah, your family was posh. Growing up, you used to watch the BBC. You told me this. You didn't say you were posh.
Kids shows.
I said you were posh because, like, you or your family. You said you weren't allowed to watch ITV, didn't you? It was all the BBC in your gaff. In ours, it was all ITV. I don't remember watching any. I bet we did used to watch a bit of BBC, but no, it was all ITV. And you're right, those stuff that I've mentioned is all ITV, isn't it?
Yeah. A few other ones coming in, being mentioned on the live chat. We've got Argraf saying, love Victoria Wood's spoof on Acorn Antiques. Dinner Ladies, there's a bit of love for Dinner Ladies. I kind of forgot that one existed.
Yeah, I didn't watch much of that. I know Sunita from Corrie was one of the dinner ladies in it, wasn't she?
Yes. Then there was Dallas, and Who Shot JR was a big deal.
Yeah, Dallas.
Yeah. Wendy Craig and Butterflies.
I love Butterflies. I can't find that available at the minute, but I would like to bring that back. I want to watch Bread. They need to bring Bread back. I can't see that on ITVX either. I love Bread.
Although, to be fair, I think they would have a bit of trouble bringing Bread back as a... Here's a bunch of Scousers that are on the verge of criminality.
Oh, I loved it.
I don't think you can get away with that portrayal nowadays.
I'm hanging by a thread here. I'm hanging by a thread.
even though the family arrangement was wonderful and, the characters were brilliant, but I just think that premise would struggle to get through
such a
commissioning.
Shame. They can't say the word tart anymore then on TV.
I'm sure, well, maybe when you're making cakes.
Oh, Lilo Lil. She's like tart.
And as W. Watt points out when they're mentioning Wendy Craig and Butterflies, crap at making tea.
Yeah, it's me, isn't it?
And Where's My Pudding, Grandad, which is back to
Oh my God, that is so funny, yeah. That is it. Where's my tea?
Yeah, so what we're learning here is that we're going to have to cobble together. That's you, Jenny, me, and you, dear listener, as well. And we're going to have to write our own sitcom and produce it and make it ourselves, aren't we?
You did get me Citizen Smith, though, didn't you? A couple of years back.
I did get it for
you
you.
had to stream it somewhere, didn't you? So I could actually watch it.
No, I had to put it onto the computer because we don't have any DVD players
That was
anymore.
it, yeah.
But yes,
put it on
Jenny requested that
we
as get a hold of Citizen Smith.
That's good.
I'll be honest, I hadn't even heard of it at the time.
He's from Nottingham, Robert Lindsay's from Nottingham.
Yeah, Robert Lindsay, Mike Grady, Cheryl Hall, Tony Millen, and George Sweeney. They're the big actors in that. I'm sure it's a wonderful show. And somebody's pointing out, Wolfie.
Yeah, his name was Wolfie, but his girlfriend's mum always used to call him, all right, Foxy. It's Wolfie, Mrs. H, it's Wolfie. But she used to call him Foxy. Oh, you got to be watching it to know where I'm coming from.
We're still seeing chat about all the soaps and W-App saying, I still say, where's my pudding?
Yeah, I can't tell you what the granddad would say. It's off.
Something off. Oh, yeah, I get the idea. And Paul is pointing out he's just shotgunning out facts at the moment, saying Robert Lindsay worked at Stanton Stavely Steelworks.
Wow.
And it's from Ilkeston.
Ilkeston. I knew it was from Ilkeston.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know Ilkeston surprisingly well, and Copmanay and places like that. Yeah. It's sort of industrial. I don't want to call it industrial, but it's basically the working end of Nottingham.
We've got quite a lot of famous people from Nottingham. The guy that was in Rising Damp and Porridge. The name's gone out of my head. Richard Beckinsale. He was from Nottingham.
Richard Beckinsale.
Yeah. Well, and Gavin from Gavin and Stace.
Ah, okay. Yeah, well, fair enough. Just off the back of that, because you're saying it's all famous, people from Nottingham. Yeah. I'm going to put Fife in. I'm asking the internet, famous people from Fife. Top of the list, Andrew Carnegie.
Who? Oh, Andrew Carnegie. Oh, we've been to see his monument, haven't we?
Well, no, it's fine. It's his birthplace.
His birthplace.
With the most, it's one. If you do end up going to Dunfermline on a holiday, I don't know why, but if you end up going to Dunfermline on a holiday and you visit the Andrew Carnegie Birthplace Museum, you may get to encounter the most excitable tour guide volunteer you've ever seen in your life. I swear you cut him in half, it probably says Andrew Carnegie inside it. It was absolutely amazing. We got to know all sorts of things we probably wouldn't get to know if we'd had anyone else doing it. Adam Smith, the economics man in Kirkcaldy, of course. Yeah,
I've never heard of it.
Robert the Bruce.
Yeah.
Gordon Brown.
Gordon Brown, of course.
Yeah. Nakuti Gatwa was grew up in the Dunfermline area.
Who was he?
He was the one of the most recent Doctor Who guys.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
I see. I don't do Doctor Who.
Yeah. You got Katie Tunstall.
Oh yeah.
Proclaimers did a stint in Ochtermuchty, of course. Yeah. And they'd start running out of ideas after that. It's not a particularly long. I don't know. Does Nottingham win out over Fife?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, we've got Paper Lace, haven't we? You know what I'm saying?
Billy, don't be a hero. Thankfully, we don't have that song. And other topics, Sandra was in touch saying, I'm sorry Ben Stokes is retiring from international cricket. England will miss him. And Jen Flynn saying, finally, my screen has defrosted itself.
Oh.
So I'm guessing you must have had a frozen screen. I hope it's not literal and like you were sitting there with a little ice scraper. Trying to get it off, or you realise you've lost your ice scraper and you're having to do it with your credit card and scraping away, and then you realise that's how you're going to pay for your lunch, and you can't pay for your lunch anymore. I'll be honest with you, sometimes when I read your messages, I sit there going, what is this about? And I've got one here from Paul saying, good luck next Friday, Jenny. Make sure Sooty, our cat, does her number 2s before they turn up. Yeah. What on earth is that about?
Oh, wow. My front garden, well, it's not my front garden, it's our front garden, isn't it, really? It's been entered into a competition.
You're making it sound very communist. It's not mine, it's ours.
Ours. It's been entered into a competition.
All right, yes.
For the theme is the best front garden, and the colours were really good because our garden was actually planted with these colours anyway, so I didn't have to go out and rush and buy a certain colour palette. Is purple, pink and white. I think they're going for the suffragettes because it's women that have kind of what is it, women of
women's suffrage, which is the ability to vote we're talking about here.
Yeah.
We're not talking about jet.
No, I'm not talking about that.
Jet. Okay, right, got it.
So I can't remember the word I'm looking for. Basically, this is the theme. This is the theme we're kind of going down with. So anyway, I took pictures in. They came round last probably was it about autumn time, just to have a little bit of a look around, just to see, and didn't hear anything. I thought that's it. I'm not particularly worried. They came around, they had a look. They're obviously going with somebody else. And then out the blue, in March this year, I had an email to say they really like to enter my front garden into the best front garden for Edwinstowe, where we live. I was like, oh, okay. I was a bit nervous, but I thought, yeah, let's do it. Let's give it a go. I always keep on top of it and everything. At the time, it was looking a little bit kind of dead, nothing was growing because it was still, winter time. And I just kept on top of it and everything, and things started to bloom. And they did say to me when they came to visit me last year that just in case you are selected, take photos of everything as your garden changes through the season. So I've been doing that. I got my photos anyway. And she said, if you want me to come round before the judges, just to tell you what's going to happen, what to expect, that sort of thing, let me know.
Yeah, that's fair.
And it was slinging it down with rain. We was having a walk around Chatsworth, weren't we? And as I was reading this email, and I said to you, oh, shall we let her? Yeah, let's let us get around. We'll have a bit of a chat. So we organised last Friday that's just gone that one of the ladies would pop round and have a bit of a look at the garden, have a chat. Anyway, she popped in and was looking around the front garden. She says, oh, it's really changed since I last saw it. Everything's coming into bloom and everything.
So it sounds like a positive feedback.
Quite kind of positive. But when I look at it now, I can see where my mistakes are. And I did say this, looking back, if I was doing a garden again, what I would do differently. I says, but I've never had a garden, never done a garden before. You learn by your mistakes.
You do, yeah.
I've just literally, it's a pick and mix garden. I see something, I like it, I put it in. I've not really thought about structure or anything like that. I've just thought about, I like that colour. I like the way that plant shushes around, in the wind and things like that. This is where my garden's basically built from. So I says to her, would you like to come and see the back garden? And she says, oh, I'd love to. So we went through the back and was having a good old chat and everything. And at that point in time, Sooty just walks out, and I'm looking at her thinking, oh yeah, she's all right. Starts, and right next to where we were both standing chatting, has a number 2.
Oh,
and I'm
no.
I was really trying to try and ignore it. But when your eyes kept going down looking at it, and I thought, the flies were starting to buzz, Mark. The flies were starting to buzz. So I thought, oh, my God. So anyway, she didn't say anything. We were carrying on talking and everything. It must have been with her for about an hour. And then we eventually, said bye, whatever. And I just thought, well, normally she's got a litter tray or she'll go in the bits of the bedding, the soil and that, right on the grass. Obviously, she didn't even cover it up. It was just there.
And Sandra Owens, on the topic of competition, saying, I won a competition in the local paper once, had to name 3 songs with the summer in their title. This song, Summer in the City, it was just played, was one I named. Got 6 bottles of wine and I never win anything.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah, so congratulations.
Yeah.
And BG Vert One Cat saying, Naughty Sooty, well, Sir Terry Frost, artist, used to work for Barbara Hepworth, once had to pee into a plant pot. It leaked down the path as Barbara Hepworth was showing some VIPs around, trickling down the path. Ugh.